Hi friends, today we're going to be doing word problems with systems of equations. So the sum of two numbers is 0, one number is 9 less than the other number, find the number. So our two numbers are just going to be x and y. Sum means plus, so our first equation will be x plus y is 0. The sum of two numbers is 0. Our second equation, one number is 9 less than the other. You can choose that to be x or y, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to say y is x minus 9. So now we're going to solve this by substitution. I can take this x minus 9 and plug it in for this y. So x plus, instead of y, I'm going to call that x minus 9 is 0. 2x minus 9 is 0. So continuing to solve this, I'll add 9 to both sides. And I'll get 2x is 9. And then dividing both sides by 2, I'll get that x is 4.5. To find my value for y, then I'm just going to plug it in to this equation. So y equals x, which is 4.5, take away 9, which means y is negative 4.5. So that's my final answer. The first number is 4.5. The second number is negative 4.5. Those do add to 0, and one of them is 9 less than the other. So get another one here. The sum of two numbers is 10. So x plus y is 10. One number is 4 less than the other. So I'm going to say y is x take away 4. Again, I'll do this by substitution. I can take my y in my first equation and replace it with an x minus 4. So x plus x minus 4 is 10. So 2x minus 4 is 10. If I added 4 to both sides, I would get 2x is 14. And if I divided both sides by 2, I would get x is 7. So to find my y, I can just plug 7 in for this x. Y equals 7 minus 4, which means y equals 3. We can check our answer. 7 plus 3 is 10. And 3 is equal to 7 minus 4, so it works. Heather has been offered 2 options for her salary as a trainer at the gym. Option A would pay her $25,000 plus $15 for each training session. So I'm going to say y equals $25,000 plus $15 for each training session. Option B would pay her $10,000 plus $40 for each training session. How many training sessions would make the salary options equal? So here we're looking for X. That's representing our training sections. I can just take this now and plug it in for my Y. So I'll do 10,000 plus 40X equals 25,000 plus 15X. If I take 15X from both sides, I'll get 10,000 plus 25X equals 25,000. And then subtracting 10,000. I'll get 25X is 15,000. And then dividing both sides by 25, I would get that X is 600. So she would have to do 600 training sessions before both of these are equal. All right. When Jenna spent 10 minutes on the elliptical trainer and then did circuit training for 20 minutes, her fitness app said she'd burned 278 calories. So 10 minutes on the elliptical plus 20 minutes circuit training burned 278 calories. When she spent 20 minutes on the elliptical and 30 minutes on circuit training, she burned 473 calories. So 20 minutes on the elliptical plus 30 minutes circuit training, she burned 473 calories. How many calories did she burn for each minute on the elliptical trainer and each minute on the circuit training? So we're going to solve these by elimination. I'm going to choose to eliminate E, which means I need my first equation to have a negative 20E in order to cancel out. So I'm going to multiply everything by a negative 2 on my first equation. So my first equation then becomes negative 20E minus 40C equals negative 576. So now remember, this equation doesn't exist anymore. It has now become my equation in red. And if I look at my like terms here, that cancels out. 30C minus 40C is negative 10C. And 473, take away 578, gives me negative 83. If I divide both sides by negative 10, I would get for circuit training, she burns 8.3 calories per hour, or I'm sorry, 8.3 calories per minute. Now I need to solve for E. It doesn't matter which one of these equations I use. I'm going to use this one. So 20E plus 30 times 8.3, because now I know that's what C represents, equals 473. Continuing to simplify, 20E plus 30 times 8.3 gives us 249 equals 473. If I took 249 from both sides, I would end up with 20E equals 224. And then dividing both sides by 20, I would end up with 11.2 calories per minute. All right, one more. Erin spent 30 minutes on the rowing machine and 20 minutes lifting weight and burned 430 calories. So 30 minutes on the rowing machine and 20 minutes lifting weights, and she burned a total of 430 calories. During her next visit to the gym, she spent 50 minutes on the rowing machine and 10 minutes lifting weights and burned 600 calories. And we want to know how many calories she burned for each minute on the rowing machine and for each minute lifting weights. So again, I'm going to use elimination here. You could use substitution. If you wanted to use substitution, you would have to get one of the variables by itself in one of the equations. But like I said, I'm going to do elimination. I'm going to choose to eliminate the W. So I need to get a negative 20W in my second equation. In order to do that, I'll multiply by a negative 2. So then that becomes negative 100R minus 20W equals negative 1,200. And then I still have this equation, 30R plus 20W is 430. So solving this by elimination, this gives me negative 70 R. The W's go away, which is what I wanted, equals negative 1200 plus 430 gives me negative 770. And then dividing both sides by negative 70, I would get rowing is 11 calories per minute. But now I need to figure out what she gets for weightlifting. Again, I can choose any of these equations. I'm going to do this one. So 30 times 11 plus 20W is 430. 30 times 11 is 330. Plus 20W is 430. If I took 330 from both sides, I'd get 20W is 100. And if I divided both sides by 20, I would get that W is 5. So 5 calories per minute. All right, friends, that's all I have for you. Have a good day.